Hello, today I'm going to go through the full process of sharpening one knife on my Tormek T8. I'm going to go through this small viner's knife. I'll show you how it looks at the minute. Hopefully come into focus. So you can see it's not in the best condition. So the first step I do is get my permanent marker and I'll draw on the bevel that we've already got, because if I can match the same bevel that's on it, then I'll have to take away less material, so it's quicker to sharpen. If the bevel doesn't look right though, what I'll do is I'll have a look on the manufacturer's website and I'll take it to what they recommend, or if I can't find anything, I'll usually take it to around 15 degrees either side. So now I've got my permanent pen on. So that's far too steep an angle at the minute. You can see that by eye. So I'll bring this down. So that looks like it might be slightly too low now. And then I'll just rotate the wheel by hand a little bit. And then I'll have a look, see where we're at. So you can see, might need to drop down a tiny bit because it's quite close to the edge of the blade at the minute. It didn't have a very big bevel anyway, so I'll just knock it down a tiny bit. There we are. So I'll spin it round, try on the other side, see how it looks. Not really taking much off there at all. Yeah, that looks good. So we'll lock it in now at this. So when you're doing this, it's important you press down on my left hand side and then tighten the two wheels up, and that locks that in at that height. I'll do another video of a full walk round of this kit and explain all the features it's got in another time. So this time, for the start, I'm going to be using this diamond wheel. This is a coarse diamond wheel. And with these wheels, you don't want to put too much pressure on or it'll damage the wheel. So that's one side done, the initial bit. Looks to be going good. You can see when you're doing this where you're taking material from, because the water will rise up on the blade while you're doing it. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. Just having a look to see where we're taking material from. So I've still got to take quite a lot off, you can see, because where there's that marker still, we're not even touching that yet. So I'll just keep alternating sides now. good thing about this wheel is it does remove quite a lot of material quite fast compared to the wheel that comes with the kit as standard. And the other bad thing with the standard wheel is you can grade it to a more coarse grade, but once you've done a few passes with the knife, it will start to clog up and it almost goes to a fine grade and you have to keep regrading it again, whereas this one just stays coarse. There is obviously more of a financial outlay though, because these are not cheap. I think this was like mid £200, I think, I can't remember, maybe 250, somewhere there or thereabouts. And the other thing with these diamond wheels is you have to use this rust inhibiting concentrate. So what I tend to do is use filter paper. Once I've finished, I'll drain the fluid out of the tank that the wheel's spinning in into here through a filter paper, so then I can keep reusing the water that's got that stuff in. Looks like we're getting there now. Should have really done a before test slicing paper, but you'll see after how sharp it is. So I'll show you now, there's just one main bit that I still need to keep taking it from. How clear you can see. Spin it round, see if that helps. You can't see very well. But yeah, there's one bit where I just need to take it off. And I'll just keep alternating until I've got, to make sure it stays the same on both sides. I'm still fairly newish to this machine, so if anybody has got any hints or tips, please let me know. But so far I'm very happy with it. It's good, very good bit of kit. Tiny little nick still there. So my plan is, so I can use the coarse grade to remove more material when I switch over to the other wheel, but if I can get it looking decent on this wheel, then I'll be able to go from this one straight to the fine setting on the other wheel. and that'll save me a bit of time. And it'll also save the wheel, because I think if you keep grading it from coarse to fine, you're going to keep removing material from the wheel, which means it's prematurely wearing it. So if I could just keep it on the fine setting and then do all my coarse material removal with this wheel, then it'll prolong the life of my my stones. Yeah, it's getting there now. Maybe do one more hard pass. So I'm happy with how it's looking now. So what I'm doing now is feeling along the edge for a burr that's raised. So I can feel along the tip there's a burr with my finger, but towards the back of the edge there's no burr. So that means I'm not taking material down right to the tip yet. So I'll concentrate on that area a little bit. Yeah, so I can feel it's coming further up the blade now. Yes, that's gone pretty much, the burr I can feel now has gone pretty much right to the back of the blade, which is what I want. So now I'll do the same on the other side. Hopefully the other side will feel the same. Yes, I can still feel it along the front. The back again slightly, I can't feel it. So I'll just alternate because I want to make sure I keep the bevel the same on both sides. Yes, that side's good. The thing with these blades is if they've been sharpened at home, it's easy for me to keep the same angle on both sides because I've obviously got the equipment to do it, but at home somebody might have, when they're sharpening, have it like that on one side, turn over and then have it like that. So then they haven't got the same angle. It could be one's at an acute angle and one's more obtuse. That's the right word. So it's feeling all right now. Yeah, happy with that side. happy with that side. So now, what I'm going to do is take this wheel off. This is my filter paper. Bear with while I just grab some tissue. Stick that under there to collect the drips. Hopefully you can see this. As you can probably see, I had a spillage. Typically, the first time it happens is when I'm filming. Maybe that'll make the outtakes. Right, where was I? So this is the filter paper. Hopefully it'll work this time. Don't try and pour your liquid in too quick, or it goes wrong. Right. Stick that in a glass for now. So I'll show you what's inside. Inside here, hopefully you can see, so there's the magnet on the side that's removable with a scraper. So it collects inside all the metallic particles. So once you've emptied it out, you can scrape all the metallic debris into the bin. So here's the other wheel, SG250. It's made of aluminium oxide. So what you have to be wary of when you're using this wheel is the diameter of it will change over time. On the diamond wheel, because it's a steel core, it's fixed. Whereas this one, as you use it, it'll wear down. So what you need to do is, when you change from one wheel to the other, your angle, obviously this is quite a new wheel, so it's going to be pretty much the same as that one. They're both 250 mil from the start. But what I do, let's dry this off. I'll show you what it looks like quickly before I start using the other wheel. There, so you can see I've got rid of all of the chips that were in it and such. So now what I'll do is colour the bevel in again. Then to make sure I'm getting the exact same angle. So this nut on the side is auto tightening, so you tighten it up by hand, and when you turn it on, it tightens itself and locks it in. That's why I quickly turned it on and back off. So now I'll turn this by hand. and you can see where I've coloured it. The light's making it not as easy to see. So it is black. Not very easy to see on here, but you can see where I've taken away, and it's hit that bevel perfectly. Which I was expecting, because it's pretty much the same diameter as the other wheel. So now, I can tell by feeling it on this one, that it's on the smooth setting. As you use it, you'll get a feel for whether it's on the coarse or the fine setting, and how you adjust it using this. So I'll put some water in here quick. These stones can absorb a surprising amount of water. So what you do is, if you want it on coarse, go that way. If you want it on fine, go that way, like that. But it's already on fine anyway. So now what I'll do is just repeat what I've done before. Make sure I'm locked in. And you might be able to hear, probably more so if you like rewound and heard the noise before, but it'll be a lot quieter. And then what I'll do is now just check that I'm taking, get that drip off. Check that I'm hitting the bevel the whole way across and there's no permanent marker. So if you can see there, at the base there's still some permanent marker, but pretty much hitting it, and on the tip there's a tiny bit. So I just need to lift the handle up a tiny bit more. What you'd normally do if you just bought one of these from the factory and you only had this wheel is you'd start on your coarse, and then once you were happy you'd then change over to fine. And the difference is, I think the coarse is around a 300 grit, give or take. And then I think when it's on fine, it's around 1,000 grit. And I can feel it's just giving me a slight burr the whole way along. And then you can hear there's barely any noise when you're using this wheel. Except when you catch the back of the blade like that. Just have a quick feel, make sure I can feel the bevel. At the burr, sorry. Yeah, it's looking good. And once I've used the diamond wheel, I barely need any passes with this wheel, and it's pretty much there straight away. The feel, yeah, I can feel a slight burr. So what I do, don't know if this is the right way or not, but I just do lighter and lighter passes, barely pressing down the tool, and I gradually get faster as well, just so I'm removing less material. and as you can hear now, it's making barely any noise at all. Have a quick look. Yeah, it's looking nice. So I'll show you how it looks now. Just giving it a quick wipe with some tissues. There might be some tissue specks on there. But just realised that's probably in the way for some of that. So now what I'll do is move onto my leather honing wheel. As you just saw then, I spun it round. So originally I didn't have the rotating base, but it's quite a heavy bit of kit to keep picking up and turning around each time. So I'd recommend one, or even just, so I've got it sat in a tray because it does leak quite a bit of water out, splashes about. Even if you just get a tray, mine's got rubber bottom so it doesn't move around. But if you didn't have the rotating base, get a plastic bottom one so you can just spin the thing round, because it is a bit of a pain. So what I do now is I'll do one last check to make sure that there's no chips on there. Because if I take this jig off and then I have to refit it later, I've lost my angle. I mean, it wouldn't be far off, but it wouldn't be exactly the same. I'd have to go through colouring it in again and finding the exact angle I was at before. So I'm happy with that. So I've just put a bit of this Tormek honing compound on the wheel. And then what I do now is I'll find roughly where the angle is, and then when you're on the angle of the bevel, you'll feel resistance, and then I just rock slightly over that, and then I'll see little black sort of flecks of the leather coming off from the bevel. You have to move my lamp so I can see better, because you need quite good light to be able to see them, because they're tiny little black flecks. Normally I wouldn't be bent right over it. I'd have my lamp up sat higher, more on the top, and then I'd be stood up doing it. And once I've done this, I usually do two or three passes on each side. I'll look to go onto my leather strop then. So I'll do one more pass, If I'm not happy after I've stropped, then I'll just come back and do this, but you don't need to see me here for hours. Right, so that'll do for now. Right, let's skip this over out of the way. So now I'll just grab my... So this is kangaroo skin. Just make sure it's dry. So I'd normally do this on, I've got a wooden board that I sit on my lap and I sit this on it. Make sure that you can see that. Yeah, that's good. So what I do now is I like to get level with it, roughly, so I can see that I'm getting a good angle, and then draw it across. And I'll just remove the micro burrs. If anyone's got any tips or suggestions how I could be doing this better, feel free. Got the idea for kangaroo leather from a chap on YouTube. I think he's called Sharpen in Australia. And then I had a bit of a look online, and I had a look online, ChatGPT, and that said kangaroo leather is good because in fact I'm not even going to try and get into the technicalities of it because I'll get it wrong, but supposedly it's better than cow leather. The reason why I turn it round is because in my mind the fibres particularly would run one way, so if I do it on all four sides I can be making sure I'm hitting the blade the same on both sides. Because say if the fibres were running that way, then I wouldn't be getting much action that way, but I would that way against the grain as such. So I think if I turn it round, do it all four ways, then I'll be at least getting it even. Might be pointless, but at least I feel like I'm trying. Right, let's give it a go. See how she looks. Give it a wipe off. Paper. Right, here we go. Let's see how it goes. Oh, look at that. Straight through. Maybe one day I'll be able to get a best tester, see how sharp I actually am getting in with a calibrated bit of kit, but at the minute, if it cuts through the paper, I'm happy. And that's how I do a blade. Feel free to leave me any comments, leave me a like, subscribe, all that. Let me know what you think. Thank you.